Hello, everybody, and welcome back into the MMA War Room alongside Sam Corcoran and Shrikar Rajendran. I'm Chris Schroyer. And guys, we have another event returning to Canada this year. The UFC hit Montreal for UFC 315, headlined by Belal Muhammad and Jack Della Maddalena. But for this card in Vancouver, it was initially supposed to be Reinier de Ridder taking on Anthony Fluffy Hernandez, which could have been a title eliminator for the middleweight division. Instead, Anthony Hernandez had to pull out due to injury, and Brendan All-In Allen takes his place. Guys, what do you make of this switch of a main event and just the rest of the card in general?
Yeah, it's definitely an unfortunate switch in my opinion. Personally, we'll get into the predictions. I don't really see this main event being that competitive, if I'm being completely honest. Spoiler alert. And I think with Fluffy Hernandez, it would have been better. But this is a sneaky good card overall. The prelims are really good. For a fight night prelim, it's pretty good. And the main card has some good fights on it, a lot of ranked fighters. Shrikar and I were debating this earlier, and I think one thing we can both take away, if you take into the factor that UFC 315 was a pay-per-view event versus the fact that this is a fight night event, when you take into that factor, obviously the 315 is going to be more. Obviously, 315 is going to be more stacked, and that's objectively the better card. But kind of taking those a little bit apart, when you have a pay-per-view versus a fight night, they made this a little bit better in terms of what the potential could be for how this card's laid out. So I think this is one of the best Canadian cards we've seen in a minute.
I think this is the best Canadian card we've seen in a minute. Like I full swing. Like I think this.
I think that is absolutely blasphemous, street card. I think that's one of the worst
card that UFC or that Canada has gotten probably ever. Like
I think that is one of the worst takes you've ever had.
Let's go band for band. Let's go band for band because I'm keeping receipts. I remember the attitude we have to go around JDM Belal and Shevchenko Fiorot. Not many people were that excited for those title fights. We only say this after the fact because JDM Belal ended up.
No, okay. I am so much more excited about that than this main event. Let's be so real. The main event is what can make or break a card.
But it's about the overall card, right?
The entire card as a whole is better. And I still think that card is in retrospect is a better card. I still think that 315 is a better card. Obviously, I mean, it's going to be more stacked in general. It's a pay-per-view event. We have a women's fight on this. We have
Manon. I think Manon Fiorot versus Jasmine Jasudavicius is on par or arguably better than Grosso and Silva, which was the women's fight on the 315 card. And Fiorot was fighting for the title in that card. So
I don't know if I can get behind that. I just think with the main, you had two championship fights, one with one of the most hyped up guys we've seen at welterweight in a long time. I don't understand how that can be better than this.
He got hyped up after he won. Like I just like we're saying this in retrospect, but if you actually, I remember the attitudes going into 315. I remember the attitudes going into that, and I see the attitudes going into this one. This is the most stacked card.
I am so much more. I was
also
so much
Cheeto Vera versus Ayman Zahabi is a better fight on paper than Aldo and Zahabi, in my opinion.
Yeah, you're right about that. But
I agree, but I'm not going to lie.
Malott is better than who was Malott fighting on 315? Charles Radke?
Yeah, Charles Radke.
I think that's a better fight. Kyle Nelson and Matt Frevola is going to be a banger. Kyle Prepolec and Drew Dober is going to be a banger. Bruno Silva and HyunSung Park is going to be a banger. Charles Jourdain and Davey Grant is going to be a banger. Like I cannot name you that many good fights on 315. I'm being completely for real. Don't even bring up BSD. He was fighting Prepolec on one week versus Kyle Prepolec. We all knew BSD was going to steamroll him. Like
when we did not. BSD was on such a down. We did not know he was going to steamroll him. He was on such a down. He just lost 2 straight fights.
I thought BSD was going to steamroll him, and then he didn't actually steamroll him.
BSD was in broad check range going into that fight.
If I remember correctly, I think BSD was like a minus 1,000 favor going into that fight. So
he was still on fraud check watch.
The streets will disagree with that. Actually, let me go see right now. I'll try and
hit up fight odds.io.
He was a heavy favorite going into that.
Oh, he was.
I think minus 1,000 is a little bit of a stretch.
Benoit Saint Denis versus Kyle Prepolec odds. Minus 1,600.
Ooh,
damn. Okay.
Wow.
I still think like
BSD MMA Junkie had him at minus 1,050.
I just think in general they put more talent on that card, and I
But
think
there's
that's
no
what
way
changed.
BSD and Prepolec was really like, oh wow, like we really have to tune in for this one.
It's still a
We knew
freaking
BSD was
good
going to
fight.
steamroll him.
It's still BSD, a freaking good fighter.
But you just said he was on a downswing. You just said he could be fraud checked.
He was. He was on. That's what I'm saying. He was on a downswing.
But we're saying everything in retrospect. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we say he's a good fighter now because
at the time it was a make or break fight for him. The stakes were very high for him, and he came out and showed out. That's what mattered.
I think Hoofy was more of the make or break fight than Cal. But we knew he was going to steamroll Cal Prepolec. Not a chance we even thought Prepolec was going to win that.
Prepolec did actually a lot better than I thought he would too. He made it,
but it wasn't like it was a good fight. Like,
but I'm going to step in here for a second and say I'm just going to speak for myself. I was pretty hyped to see Manon Fiorot take on Valentina Shevchenko.
That too.
And I was pretty hyped to see Belal versus JDM. Obviously, those are championship fights, but I think the Belal versus JDM fight was pretty hyped up. JDM's he has a pretty big hype train behind him, and I think it increased after that win. But
and Belal was also a guy that I mean, not that hyped up because I think people think he's a boring.
No one likes Belal.
At the same time,
no one will change my mind.
He was on a long win streak. He was on a long winning streak. It was due for his time to defend the belt. He's still Belal Muhammad. He was still a big name.
I'm not willing to see the tables turn on that because I remember everyone hated Belal going into that fight, and everyone willingly said, "Why should we watch Belal?"
I mean, I still do.
Like, I don't know, that's fine. But everyone was going into that and it's like, okay, wow, Belal is going to put on a snooze fest and it's going to be a wrestle fest and he's just going to do that. Like, obviously, like I thought JDM would win, but people did not like Belal. People thought he was not entertaining, and that's why the title fight wasn't as hyped up as it should have been. JDM was not as big of a name as he is now. That's just facts. He got the belt, and then
I'm going to disagree with that. I'm going to disagree with that.
Among the hardcores, like obviously he was big. There's a big win he got at UFC 299 against Gilbert Burns, and that did a little bit to help him out. People thought Belal was going to win that fight by boring wrestling, and that turned them away.
Not I, though.
Maybe not you, but
not I.
I was on Twitter all the way through until that card happened. That was the general sentiment. Yeah. Obviously, people got proved wrong. I think if you look at the overall card here and you look at the prelims and you look at the literal fight list, and you don't take into account that there's just 2 title fights on 315, this is the better card. This is a stacked UFC card, and I'm glad Canada's finally getting a stacked one because 315 was not stacked. It was not.
And I also want to admit that this is not a disrespect to this card to say 315 is better because this is a stack card. The fact we're even comparing it is impressive in itself. But guys, leave it in the comments. What do you think is the more impressive card? Is it 315? Is it this one? I guess we'll leave the rest of the floor for the rest of the episode for Street Card to prove why this one's better because we're about to break into these banger fights.
I'm now that I'm looking at it, look, I think that it definitely 315, obviously, when you have a title fight on a card, like you obviously want to lean towards that, but probably ban for ban, this might be a better card. And I also agree with Shrikar that in retrospect, it is easier to look back and say, oh, well, this is pretty good because of the fights that took place. However, I would say only the really good fights were probably Natalia Silva versus Grasso, Shevchenko versus Fiorot, and really JDM versus Belal. So let's see if we can prove why UFC Vancouver is going to be the better card. And we start in the first fight of the night, the first Canadian taking the octagon in the women's bantamweight division, Melissa Scare Croden taking on Tainara Thai Panther Lisboa. I like Melissa's last name because I don't know if anyone knows the
Scare
Canadian
Croden
lingo out there, but like the Crodies and the Crodem, she's putting on for Canada. So Sam, I'm going to pitch it to you first. What you got for this one?
Yeah, this is two kind of newcomers into the UFC. Lisboa 7-3, Croden 6-2, making her UFC debut. The odds are pretty similar. Like, this is going to be a good fight. I think it's a good one to start the prelims. I'll go with the Canadian here. I'll go Melissa Croden. I think she gets it done. She's powerful. Like, she can take you out cold. I think Melissa Croden gets this done by finish. I think it's a TKO or a knockout.
Interesting.
You're going with Lisboa?
No,
I'm going
he's going
Croden.
with Croden.
Oh, you're going with Croden? Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll side with the hometown fighter here. I will go with Scare Croden to pull off the upset. Lisboa has been hyped for her
I believe
Muay Thai
she's the
credentials.
favorite, by the way. Sorry to interrupt. She's the
Yeah,
let's-
she's a
Croden
minus
is
one
the favorite now.
Yeah.
But the way I looked at it early in the week, and she was actually a plus money. Lisboa's got that 2-time world champion label in Muay Thai, but you always have to ask what organization, what level. That can mean a lot of things. She's got solid kicks, heavy shots in the clinch, but her grappling isn't great. And that knee injury she had is a major red flag. She got absolutely dominated by Luana Santos not long ago. Barely any offense. And now she's facing Croden. Croden's got legit Muay Thai of her own, trained at Tiger Muay Thai, has 5-round experience from her LFA title fight with Jacqueline Cavalcanti. She's shown she can hang with elite level strikers. Croden's 5'9", long reach, and a more complete game overall. I think she's going to mix things up, clinch, elbows, maybe even take Lisboa down. Lisboa is still dangerous, but Croden's fresher,
Yeah.
and I trust her durability more. So the odds actually opened at plus 235 for Croden.
Ooh.
And it went down to plus 105 when I checked earlier in the week. So smart money's already on her, and now obviously she's a favorite. So I think Vegas definitely knows something there. I'll say Croden by decision, but she's definitely live for a finish if Lisboa's knee isn't right. So if you're hunting props, I agree with Sam. Croden inside the distance could be juicy if you want that. But yeah, I'll also go with Scare Croden.
Yeah, I definitely agree. She's 6-2, but she's 34. She is absolutely massive for this women's bantamweight division and a very solid reach. Obviously, we've mentioned Lisboa, a very talented Muay Thai striker, and has a great background in that. And she's also physical as well. So I think that we're gonna get two girls willing to throw down in the center of the octagon. But I think what keeps it over the edge is that Croden will be able to control her range, use her kicks, punches, and she can clinch too. And I think that is something that she uses very well. You know, the one thing you have to be a little bit weary of is she is making her UFC debut. So, you know, sometimes the lights may be too bright. However, I think her being from Canada will help. The crowd will 1000% be on her side, kind of invigorate her, and really, hopefully, let her coast to a very nice performance. So I'm going to go with Croden inside the distance as well. I really like that pick. So we're going with a clean sweep for the first hometown fighter in the War Room. And the second fight, I think this is going to be a banger, man. I'm really excited for this fight. I don't know how it's the second fight on the card, but we're going to take Iron Azamat Bekoev taking on Yousri, the babyface assassin Belagroui. Azamat is a very proven Russian middleweight. He is not the biggest middleweight. However, he can get it done in all facets of the game. Yousri is fresh off a Dana White Contender Series victory, making his UFC debut in this fight. He is the older fighter and much taller as well. He is 6'5" compared to Azamat's 6 foot. And he has a 9-inch reach advantage with a 79-inch reach. Shrikar, I'm going to come to you first. Who you got winning this fight?
I'm all over Azamat Bekoev here. Belagroui is obviously, you mentioned that high-level kickboxer. He trained with Alex Pereira. He's got pedigree, but he's never really shown it in MMA. I think he's overly patient, and that Contender Series win was it was boring. I just didn't really see much. Bekoev, on the other hand, is an animal. Smashed Ryan Loader, dominated Zach Reese. This dude is built like a tank and fights like one. His wrestling pressure is relentless, and he's got serious ground and pound. Yousri might have the kickboxing credentials, but this isn't glory. This is MMA. I think Bekoev is going to drag him to the mat and maul him. Could be an arm triangle. Could be a ground and pound TKO, but I'm seeing a finish either way. Give me Bekoev inside the distance. I'll say second round submission for Azamat Bekoev here.
Yeah, I don't need to say much. Shrikar had the same thing. Second round submission by Bekoev. Belagroui.
Yeah, Belagroui.
Belagroui. Excuse me. Yeah, like you said, Shrikar, I wasn't that impressed with his Contender Series win. He has the resume though, so credit to him. Maybe he can back it up, but Bekoev looks really good right now. So I'm going him by second round sub.
Yeah, I'm actually going to take him by knockout, but I think it's going to be a TKO on the ground from ground and pound. Obviously, Shrikar mentioned Belagroui's elite striking and his background in that. And obviously, he's a very tall and rangy guy, so he might be able to pull that off. And I think he will be dangerous early in the fight, but Bekoev is just an absolute fire blanket. Like, he does not let you go once he gets on top of you. And I really think this is going to be a stylistic nightmare for Belagroui. You know, you have a very tall striker and an opponent that repeatedly shoots takedowns. He can hang with you on the feet. He's powerful as ever. And I think that once Belagroui gets into those feints, I think Bekoev is just not going to fall for them at all. He's going to take an overhand right, smash him. Maybe I think he's going to knock him down. So I'm going to go in round 2 as well, but I can see some ground and pound, and I wouldn't be surprised if this fight, takes place on the ground for the majority of it. But that's another clean sweep in the war room. We're going to the third fight of the night in the women's
strawweight, the loaded women's strawweight division, baby.
Sam is drooling right now at this women's strawweight division. He loves this division. And you know what? I don't really see a reason not to as of right now. So we're going to see 2 Brazilians squaring off. I feel like that's not very common in the UFC, seeing 2 Brazilians squaring off. I don't know why. But we have Stephanie Rondinha Luciano, taking her nickname from Ronda Rousey. She is a huge Ronda Rousey fan. I believe that is what got her into the sport. Taking on Ravenna Oliveira. And I see Stephanie Luciano as a huge favorite in this fight. I really think that she is just the more complete fighter. Oliveira does present attributes of, physicality. She has good wrestling that could pose problems. However, she's taking a 2-year layoff. There's a lot of weight cut issues, and I don't really trust her conditioning as of right now. I'm going to have to see a little bit more for her, and I think that's a reason why the odds on this fight are so wide. I believe Luciano's sitting around minus 350, but Luciano, she bounces around, very consistent. She's rangy as well, and she keeps the fight where she wants to keep it. She wants to fight at distance. She's going to make sure she fights at distance. If she wants to, crash and create a clinch, she's going to do that as well. I think that there's just going to be more higher output on Luciano's side, and I don't believe that Oliveira is going to be able to keep up with it just from that 2-year layoff. I know that I heard, I forgot what commentary team it was, but they said Dominic Cruz said there's no such thing as ring rust. Me personally, I am not a believer in that. I believe ring rust is a thing, and I think we're going to see it in this fight with Luciano taking out I would say, a unanimous decision, but I'm going to say a somewhat close unanimous decision.
This one feels like a mismatch. Oliveira hasn't fought in 2 years. She's dropping 2 weight classes from 135 all the way down to 115. And honestly, that's a huge red flag. She was undersized before, but this is an extreme cut. Luciano's the better athlete, faster, and she's fought better competition recently. She's got slick movement and solid takedown defense. I just don't think Oliveira can make this weight effectively. And even if she does, Luciano should pick her apart on the feet. So give me Luciano. I'll also go unanimous decision. Crisp jab, high volume, just total control of this fight. I think Stephanie should get this one done.
We'll have a clean sweep here. I don't really know what Oliveira's doing, I'm going to be honest with you. I understand the layoff, but you're cutting out 2 weight classes. Like, what changed? I'm curious to see. It's just like it makes me think that maybe I won't say that actually, but I don't know. I'm curious to see what Oliveira is like in there, but I think I got to go with Luciano for now. Sam Hughes is her last fight. That was a split decision. I thought she fought pretty well in that. I think she can bounce back pretty well and get this win.
All right, another clean sweep in the war room for Stephanie Rondinha Luciano.
Here we go.
Yep. Whew, this is gonna be fireworks.
Banger.
Well, yeah, not only that, I was saying here we go to the fact that we're all gonna agree on every pick.
Oh yeah, I mean, well that too potentially. I think that there is just a little bit of wider odds towards the bottom of this card, other than Croden, but another Canadian taking his walk to the octagon will be Kyle Killshot Prepolec taking on the American, I'm going to call him a bulldozer and a granite chin, Drew Dober. This guy is chiseled from stone, and he has one of the biggest heads that I've ever seen. So Sam, take it away. Who do you think is going to win this fight?
Drew Dober is a minus 500 favorite, and I'm picking the underdog. I'm going Kyle Prepolec for this one. I think that's the biggest underdog I've picked. Look, Kyle Prepolec, his first fight, and we were talking about it, Benoit Saint Denis. That's his first fight in the UFC. That's a huge step up. I believe that was short. Am I correct that was a short notice?
It's literally like 1 week notice.
Yeah, it was a short notice fight. He goes in and does better than we think he does, by the way. We are all talking about it earlier. He does better than we think he does. Before that, he was on a 3-fight winning streak. He hasn't lost since March of 22 before that. So 3-fight winning streak, bounces back, gets 3 straight wins, and then fights BSD, a huge step up. And I think that battle tests him pretty well against Drew Dober, who, let's be completely honest, guys, what has Drew Dober done since 2023? Absolutely nothing. He's done absolutely nothing. He's 1-4, and his one win came to Ricky Glenn, who also hasn't done anything. Ricky Glenn has won 1 fight since November of 2018.
Okay, all right, wait. So, but who has Drew Dober fought though? He's fought Moicano, John Silva, and Manuel Torres. 3 absolute killers.
He has fought absolute killers. Let's be real.
And he made it to the 3rd round with John Silva,
which is pretty impressive. I don't want to get that messed up either. He just hasn't done too much for me. And with you mentioned the granite chin of Drew Dober. Let's look at how Drew Dober has lost 3 of his last 4 fights. TKO, TKO, TKO. That doesn't scream.
Whoa. Silva wasn't a clean knockout. I don't think he ever got.
It was a doctor stoppage.
It was a doctor stoppage.
And Torres is literally just different. He's literally him. So it's like,
yeah, I mean, it's El Loco, man.
El Loco's different.
Nonetheless, I do worry about that chin. The way he's getting beat up recently, I do worry about that. That's why I'm going Kyle Prepolec by TKO.
Oh boy. Listen, I love
let the hate comments begin.
I love Drew Dober in this spot. Prepolec's a Canadian journeyman. Here's my big thing. I just don't think he has the firepower for this matchup. He's awkward and hittable. And now he's facing a legit knockout artist in Drew Dober. It's a recipe for disaster. Dober's faster, more powerful, and he's fighting with his back against the wall. I think the fact that Sam brought up his 3 losses back to back to back, I think that just helps me. He needs this one. He really does. I think he's going to fight like it, and I think we get a vintage Drew Dober knockout. Prepolec's never been knocked out as a pro, but he's never faced a guy who hits like Dober either. He hits harder than BSD. I'll tell you that. I'll take Drew Dober by knockout, and I'll take him to do it in round 1 or 2.
I will give Sam a little bit of leeway because Prepolec is getting a decent amount of sharp money right now. But I understand that Dober has lost 4 of his last 5. Yeah, 4 of his last 5. And most of them have come by knockout, except for Moicano. But with that being said, it wouldn't make sense that he's a minus 500. Like, I feel like that line was set like that for a reason, and I think Prepolec is just going to walk into the jaws of defeat. Like, he's the perfect opponent for Drew Dober. He's not going to shoot a takedown, and we've seen Dober have wrestling lapses where he can get taken down and controlled on the ground, but that's not what Prepolec brings to the table. He brings a pressure-based style where he's going to try and walk you down and strike with you. And I just don't think that that's going to happen with Drew Dober. I think that he's, regardless of age, Prepolec is also on the older side as well. I still think Dober has speed. I said peed. Excuse me. Speed, power, and explosive hands. Like I think that this is going to be a train wreck waiting to happen. Drew Dober by round 1 knockout.
I sure hope Drew Dober is peed. It's a natural human thing to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, that just like Dober has had
That's
wrestling
fun.
lapses, I just had a mental lapse. But just throwing this out there, have you guys also seen the interview that took place today? This video will be posted on Thursday. We were recording Wednesday night. That Drew Dober fought an opponent in Germany. I believe his name was Nick Hein. He lost to Nick Hein. Got invited to his after party, was introduced to Nick Hines' sister and his family, and then married Nick Hines' sister.
That's a crazy story.
He's gonna win. He's gonna win.
I don't know. I thought that I saw that and I thought that was actually hilarious. I was like,
no, that's great.
Maybe I'd be scared if I was Drew Dober because technically you lost to her brother, so don't do her wrong.
Damn. Yeah, that's brutal.
Yeah, that was a funny story that came across my timeline today. But another fight taking place in Vancouver on the prelims is, I love this guy so much. Danny Left Hand to God Barlow, one of the best nicknames ever, in my opinion. Taking on Jourdain Shakur Santos. This is going to be fireworks, in my opinion. Shrikar, I'm going to let you take this one away. What you got?
Both of these guys are inconsistent, but I'm rolling with Danny Barlow here. He's moving up to 185, and that's actually a good thing for him. No more brutal weight cuts. He should carry his power up just fine. Santos is wild, but sloppy. He's got some clinch game and toughness, but his striking defense is a mess. Barlow's faster, and I think the lighter man skill advantage really shows here. We're talking about with Tyler Fish on our live stream about lighter man skill.
I was just going to say that. Shout out Tyler Fish.
Tyler Fish. This is where we're going to apply lighter man skill. He's got that left hand to God nickname for a reason. The man can crack. I'll take Danny Barlow by knockout. Honestly, probably in the first half of the fight. He'll get it done early.
Yeah. I have Barlow winning, but I just want to excuse me. I have Barlow winning this one. I also have a knockout, but I want to bring up your point, Shrikar. Danny Barlow not being consistent.
Yeah,
he's lost one.
He didn't
just lose, but he looked good, so good before that. And Sam Patterson's a damn good fighter too.
I was gonna say Sam Patterson's a little bit of a buzzsaw right now.
That's what I was gonna say. I don't think you can use the word inconsistent when describing Danny Barlow. I do think you can use that when describing Jourdain Santos. And that's why I think Barlow is going to be the buzzsaw, like you mentioned, Chris. Sam Patterson, buzzsaw Danny Barlow. Danny Barlow is going to buzzsaw Jourdain Santos, round 1 knockout.
Yeah, I got.
By the way, he went to a split decision with Nikolai Veretennikov before the Patterson fight. So,
but hey, Veretennikov's a dog, man. I'm telling you, Veretennikov stays alive in these fights. We've been talking about it all the time. He stays alive in these fights against opponents that are so well beyond above him. He knows how to stay alive. People need to put a little respect on Nikolai Veretennikov's name.
I don't know. He kind of just got manhandled by Puno Soriano, but he is a tough guy. I will give him that. So I think that this jump up in weight will be good for Barlow. I don't know if I just said it. Sorry. Another mental lapse. I have him winning by round 1 knockout. And obviously in that Veretennikov fight, Barlow did miss weight at welterweight. He did look a little bit sluggish and drained in that Sam Patterson fight, and Sam Patterson was able to jump on that. I think him moving up to 185 is definitely going to do him wonders. And also another reason that I'm picking Danny Barlow, I just don't want to pick Jourdain Santos because he lost to Ozzy Diaz. I mean, I was all over Jourdain Santos in that fight. I thought he should have worked Ozzy Diaz, and the opposite happened. He got worked by Ozzy Diaz. I mean, I was honestly flabbergasted. I was pretty flabbergasted. So I think that this is going to be a very nice addition to Danny Barlow's highlight reel. So another clean sweep. Oh no, not a clean sweep in the. Yes, this was a clean sweep.
Yeah, sorry. That's it. The only pick we
Sam took Prepolec, which
the only pick that I'm a little surprised. That's the only pick. I knew that was going to be a wild take.
No, once we get to main card, things will get interesting.
This one could also have some parity. Let's get into that one.
Yeah, let's get into this. We got some
banger fight.
Yeah, some flyweight action going down in Vancouver. We got HyunSung Park fresh off his first loss, a short notice loss to surging contender Tatsuro Taira. And then we
Short
got
notice too.
and yep, short notice as well. And we got the Bulldog Bruno Silva. Sam, you said it's a banger. Who you got in this fight that's bound to bring fireworks?
Oh man. Look, this is a good fight. I'll tell you right now. Look, Bruno Silva has run into some bulldogs himself, like Josh Van, like Manel Kopp. He needs to win badly to stay in these rankings. And HyunSung Park is a surging contender. I'm a little conflicted, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm leaning Bruno Silva right now, but this might be one I come back and change. I'm going to go Bruno Silva by decision. This could be a fight of the night candidate. A fantastic fight overall. I'm going to go with the favorite right now, Bruno Silva. I would not be shocked if we come back and I switch to HyunSung Park. I'm that conflicted on this fight.
Wait, did you just say Bruno Silva's the favorite?
Oh, he's the dog. Oh, excuse me. Yeah.
He's like a plus 200 dog.
Yeah, I'm still sticking with the dog and Bruno Silva, but it's close. Like, I know he's a plus 200 dog. These odds should be closer. We'll put it that way.
All right. I am all in on HyunSung Park inside the distance. I'm going to bring out the fat W word that we hate using. Bruno Silva's washed.
Washed.
Simple as that. He's 35 and hasn't looked good since before his long layoff. Park is coming off a loss to Tatsuro Taira, but that was short notice, and Taira is a top 5 flyweight already. Park's boxing is crisp. He's got good chain wrestling, and he is violent. I think he beats Silva up standing, takes him down, and finishes him. Give me Park by submission or Park by ground and pound TKO. Either way, Park by finish is the move here. And yeah, I think HyunSung Park is going to show everyone why he was that hyped up before, why he got that Taira fight, because the man is very, very good. And again, I hate to bring out the W, but Bruno Silva's washed.
I'm also gonna go with HyunSung Park inside the distance. I think that Silva also he poses a big threat because he's just such an all-around fighter. He does have the ability to grapple, wrestle, mix in powerful striking. I'll give him that. And he is 35, so the durability is definitely a cause of concern for me. I just think that Park, he's very, I wouldn't say very young, but he is pretty much in his physical prime. He's athletic. He has the same well-rounded skill set. Obviously, I think he would have fared better against Tatsuro Taira if he was given a full camp. And also Tatsuro Taira is another buzzsaw in the UFC currently. I think that Silva will find success in the beginning. Like he will be able to shoot takedowns, get in on a single leg or maybe a double leg, force the fight up against the fence. But I just think when the hands start flying, I think that Park, his pace is it's going to be too fast and the counters are going to be too powerful for Silva to deal with. And Silva has gotten tagged up recently. So I'm going to go with the younger and honestly, I would say potentially more proven fighter. Like I know Bruno Silva has had a long stint in the UFC, but I look at his wins and I'm just not very impressed. Every time he's fought someone remotely good, he's kind of just been outworked, outclassed. Like his 4 wins in the UFC are JP Base, Victor Rodriguez, Tyson Nam, and Cody Djorden. That doesn't scream over the top to me. So I think HyunSung Park is going to bounce back in a big way from his first career loss and show us why he really deserves to be a top 10 flyweight in the world.
Yeah, I'm switching my pick. I don't care. People are going to call me soft. I'm switching to HyunSung Park.
I had a feeling it was coming.
Yeah, I was so on the fence. And then I kind of looked a little, while you guys were talking, I looked a little deeper into Bruno Silva's resume. And I'm like, what the hell? This is terrible.
He's good though. Like, don't get me wrong.
He is good. Do not get me wrong. I am still like,
problem.
this is going to be a good fight. And Bruno Silva is still, he is the bulldog for a reason. There's a reason I picked him at first. But I'm flipping. I think HyunSung Park is a different animal.
I mean, also in the, sorry, keep going, Sam.
HyunSung Park's a different animal. Bruno Silva's a dog. Don't get me wrong. He's an animal himself. But just after looking at what he's done, he hasn't proven me as much as I thought initially.
Yeah, I was about to say another thing is he's just taking tons of damage. In the cop fight, in the van fight, he took a lot of damage. And at the age he's at, I'm kind of worrying it. Like he's going up against a much fresher, younger guy. But yeah, we're all in on Park here.
No, if Silva wins this fight, I'm gonna be so upset. So upset.
That'll be one.
Maybe you should
Sorry.
stick with it, Sam. Maybe you should be confident in your gut.
With Park.
Wait, what are the odds again on Silva and Park?
-2 according to ESPN bet -235 and +190 for Bruno Silva.
Okay. Yeah, it's pretty fair.
But let me look at the betting split. A little bit of sharp money on Bruno Silva, 22% of the bets, 45% of the handle. Not bad. Not bad at all. So I think that is something else to look out for. You know how much I love my betting splits and sharp money. Follow the money. You will end up rich.
Unless you're betting on Irina Alexieva.
By the
Yes,
way, no
thank
longer
gosh I
in the
did not
UFC
do
as
that.
of today.
Say it again, Sam?
She got cut from the UFC today. I don't know if y'all saw that.
Yeah, it was gonna come.
That is unfortunate.
Russian Ronda.
Yeah, her and JT got cut.
Who?
Jeez.
JT. You know who I'm talking about.
Tafa.
The other Tafa?
Oh, no. The big one.
Justin.
Oh, I thought he already got cut.
Yeah, well, they officially, they officially got cut. I just wanted to bring it up again.
Is it terrible that is
I just
it
wanted to bring it
terrible
up
that you said JT in the first thing in my head? I thought
Was
Jonathan Taylor.
Yeah, I thought it's Jonathan Taylor.
I thought you were gonna think of Justin Timberlake.
Another go to JT. JT is
Yeah.
just like a very, very good initials to have, I guess.
Or
Unless your last name is Tafa.
or Jack Taylor. What about Jack Taylor? Shout out Jack
out.
McHale. Go check out his music on Spotify. He put some fire beats out there. That's our boy. But we're gonna go to the next fight, the featured prelim on this Vancouver card, and it features a fairly good Canadian fighter in Charles Air Jourdain, taking on the ever so tough Davey Grant. That man does not give up. He is just always in your face somehow. We just saw Jourdain's brother get a contract on Dana White Contender Series this season. Very excited for that. So it'll be interesting to see if Charles can follow that performance up. And I'll just take this one. I'm gonna be completely honest. I really want to take Davey Grant. He's very tough. We've seen it in the Damon Blackshear fight. He 1000% has upset potential. Like it's all there for him. His grappling is very good. He can stand there and strike with you. Sorry if you hear my dog. He's being a good boy upstairs.
He's a good boy.
He's a good boy. But at the end of the day, I just think this is going to be a good fight for Charles Jourdain. I really think that he's going to hone in his hometown crowd and just harness the skills and put on a vintage Charles Jourdain performance, how I expected him to be in the UFC. I thought he was going to be a buzzsaw. He ran into some pretty good competition. And well, actually, who did he lose to? He lost to Did he lose to Jack Shore? No, it was Shane Burgos. Shane Burgos, Woodson, John Silva. Those are great losses in my opinion. I think that he's finally going to get this, maybe the best win of his career in Davey Grant, someone who's proven to be somewhat of a gatekeeper. And like I mentioned, the grappling is there for Grant.
Ultimate gatekeeper. He'll fight anyone and always have his moments. We saw it against Blackshear. But Jourdain's younger. and fighting at his true weight class now at 135. His hand speed and explosiveness are going to be too much. I think he picks Grant apart from range and just outpaces him. So I'll go Jourdain by decision. But Chris, I agree. I would not be surprised if he catches Grant in a guillotine. He is very, very good with those. Very slick with them too. But I'll go Jourdain by decision here.
Silly gilly goose.
Oh, this is another tough one, man. But this time I'm not changing my pick. I feel pretty confident about this pick. Charles Jourdain, like you said, up and coming. He had a few bad losses earlier against great fighters, and then he gets a great win, a silly gilly goose win against Victor Henry. That gilly choke is tough. You know who's also tough as nails? Davey Grant. I think he wins this fight by decision. It is so hard to take Davey Grant out. I think that's Charles Jourdain's best way to win is by knocking him out or submitting him, which he has proven that is impossible to do. The last time Davey Grant lost a fight that did not go the distance was July of 2018. Since then, he's had 3 losses where he has gone to unanimous decision, split decision, split decision. And then everything else he's won. He is tough as nails. I don't know. I don't love the word gatekeeper for him, if I'm going to be completely honest, man. I think Davey Grant could be better than a gatekeeper. And I think he can prove it with this fight, and I think he does. Give me Davey Grant by decision.
Really, aside from the 2 women's fights on the prelims, every single fight is a banger. Like, Bekoev is going to be fun. Dober Prepolec is going to be a fun fight. Barlow is going to be fun. Obviously, Sylvan Park.
This is one of the best prelims we've seen for a fight night in a while.
Yeah, this is a really good prelim.
This is good enough to be an Apex main card. Besides a minus a main event.
Besides having a minute. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, this is good enough to be an Apex main card.
Yeah, I mean, I 1000% agree. I think you guys said it best. So we're going to move on to the main card with another Canadian fighter.
Another
making
banger.
A walk to the octagon. This will be a banger. You got Kyle the Monster Nelson taking on Matt the Steamroller Frevola out of good old Long Island, New York.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, this is going to be an absolute war. Kyle Nelson making his way back up to lightweight after spending years at featherweight. Sam, I'm going to pitch it to you right now. Who you got winning and why?
Man, look, Matt Frevola's had some tough fights recently. He lost to Benoit Saint-Denis. He loses to Fares Siam, 2 of the best prospects, or at the time, best prospects in the lightweight division. Now moving to this is still lightweight now. Kyle Nelson has been at featherweight, moving up a weight class. I think that helps in this fight, if I'm going to be completely honest. I got Kyle Nelson in this one. We'll go, what do we want to go with for this one, for the method? Let's do this by decision. I think this is going to be an all-out war. I don't think either of them can. I was debating knockout. I don't necessarily think that's going to happen. These are 2 very tough chin guys. And I think Nelson, just the hometown guy, gets it done. Shout out to former 49er Kyle Nelson as well. I won't lie, I have a slight need towards Kyle Nelson because of that. But shout out our Super Bowl 54 long snapper, Kyle Nelson. And your twin from Canada is going to win this fight.
Yeah, I'm going Matt Steamroller Frevola, baby. We're repping Long Island over Canada. What even is a maple leaf? Nelson's tough. But I will say, I think me and Sam have adverse views on how he will be at 155 because I personally think he's going to come in undersized. And he's also coming off a brutal loss. Frevola is more physical and way more aggressive. I think Frevola is going to come out hot and find the knockout. Nelson's just too hittable, and he doesn't have the pop to keep Frevola off him. So I'll take it a step further. I'm going to say Frevola by knockout. This is going to be a violent fight for sure. I think this one is probably going to end inside 2 rounds, and I think Frevola is going to be the one to get it done.
Ooh. This is a tough fight for me to pick. Psych, repping LI, baby. Steamroller Frevola. Yeah, I got Frevola by knockout. I think that Nelson is going to feel a little bit undersized in this fight. Obviously, you have someone in Nelson who is a very good striker, and I'm not taking anything away from that. Very crisp, very good counter puncher. And then on the opposite side, you have Frevola, who is also a solid striker, but he just brings that nasty pressure and wrestling. And lighter man skill does apply in this fight until you start getting grappled up and then you start getting touched. But I think that Nelson will be able to hold his own. I'm just not sure for how long. I think that Frevola, his perfect mix of size and strength and striking, will be able to allow him to land takedowns in very opportune moments. And I think it's just going to be a nasty fight from both of these guys. But I got to side with the Long Island boy steamroller Frevola in this one. I think that it's just going to be a little bit too much for Kyle Nelson. And he has some pretty good losses too, if I'm being quite honest. As far as
they both do. Yeah,
Benoit, Terrence McKinney, Arman Sarukian. The only one that's not great is Polo Reyes, who Kyle Nelson actually beat, which is, by MMA math, not mathin'. But
yeah,
it's going to be a great fight. I think that this is going to end inside the distance, and I think whoever's laying face first on the canvas, it's going to be bad. So nice little parry to open up the main card. Sam with
we need it.
Amount of lone wolves.
I'm the only one with lone wolf so far.
Yeah, you already have 3. You would have had 4 if you chose Bruno Silva, but
yeah, that's too many.
I think that was a good switch.
I also think that was a good switch.
Thank you.
You should switch back.
Yeah.
Yes, actually, switch.
No.
Okay, we're gonna move on to the next fight, which should be another very good fight in my opinion. Tough alumni. Cody Gibson taking on Aoriqileng. Shrikar, I'm going to go to you first. Who you got winning this fight and why?
This one feels like a grind, but I'm siding with Cody Gibson. He is the bigger, longer guy with better wrestling, and Aoriqileng just hasn't evolved. Every time he fights a decent wrestler, he gets taken down and controlled, and that's exactly what Gibson's going to do. So I'll take Cody Gibson by decision, just grinding him out with clinch work and top control, keep it short. I think he gets it done.
You go for it, Chris.
What you got, Sam? I'm actually going to take Aoriqileng on this one.
I get to be the decider.
Yeah, I think that Gibson definitely does have a clear path to victory in his wrestling and control. And I think that is his strong suit, and he's fairly good at it. But that requires to have somewhat of a high pace and, sustaining your energy for the later rounds of the fight. And I just don't feel like I've seen Cody Gibson do that. I feel like he tends to slow down, and I think that's exactly where Aoriqileng is going to, capitalize. I mean, he is a great striker. He has power, and he also can keep a great pace. Obviously, if Cody Gibson is able to secure those positions early, Aoriqileng is going to be in trouble, and I think Cody Gibson will be able to rest in top control, and that's kind of how it goes. And he might be able to tire out Aoriqileng, but I'm going to opt for the latter and say that Aoriqileng is going to be able to weather the early storm and land the harder shots down the stretch and ultimately earn a tough decision victory.
Wait for it. Hold up. Drum roll. I saw that in the corner. I felt like I had to do that. All right, I'll be the decider for this one. Look, these are 2 battle-tested guys. 2 vets. You can call it the unction if you want, if I'm being completely honest. And this should be a good fight. I think this one is going to go. Oh, man. I think this one will probably end up going the distance, if I'm being honest. And there's been a lot of distance fights. I have 2 distance fights on this main card already. And I could really see it going either way. I'm going to go with the guy who I believe is a little more battle tested, and that's Aoriqileng. I think you look at what, so Shrikar taking the lone wolf for this one. When you look at, you
I wanted
that. Well, I think when you look at where Aoriqileng is compared to Cody Gibson. Aoriqileng has fought the likes of Raul Rosas. He's fought the likes of Ayman Zahabi. He's fought the likes of Cody Djorden. Guys that have been proven in the UFC. Meanwhile, Cody Gibson, he's fought some good gatekeepers. Damon Blackshear, Miles Johns. He's fought some good guys. Ray Borg. That was way back when, though. He fought Ray Borg.
We will always remember Ray Borg.
Yeah, that was past Ray Borg's UFC time, though. Nonetheless, I think Aoriqileng, the one thing he really needs is, and he still doesn't have it. I don't think Cody Gibson helps it out, but he doesn't have that prove it win, where it's against like a big name in the UFC. It's against a guy who people know is like a good up and comer, or a guy in the rankings that maybe just fell out, or a guy a good gatekeeper. I think Cody Gibson's a good gatekeeper. But I think Aoriqileng, I think this is a step in the right direction for him. I think he gets it done by sub. It's going to be a close one, though.
I like it. Give me that lone wolf.
Big lone wolf for Streetcar.
You like howl?
You going to howl?
Oh, you want me to howl?
Yeah.
Nah, I feel like when I don't howl, I feel like I just...
What are you like?
Streetcar,
are you aura farming?
I got to ask you.
I feel like howling is aura farming.
Howling is definitely aura farming. Did you know it's also aura farming? Did you show off what's behind your head?
Oh, yeah.
In the stream yesterday? Woo!
Max. Hey, I know like my big head is just blocking this picture, but it's a step one in the renovation. Doing some stuff in my room. I'm adding some stuff. Wanted to put the little Holloway Gaethje up there. Good thing to look at when I wake up in the morning. Oh, wow. Thank you.
Damn, where'd you get these sound effects?
Standing ovation.
I feel like you have like the blue box for my car.
We have the heartbeat, we have a bounce. We have a gong sound too.
See, that's what we need. We need a soundboard. That's a good idea.
You can add sound. You can actually upload sounds. We might need to get some more. We should get a wolf howling, and I also like doing it.
Yeah, we should get a wolf howling. That way, our cringy selves don't have to do it.
All right.
I'll just record myself howling, and then we can.
No. Y'all start talking about the next fight. I'll download a wolf howling real quick.
All right. Sounds good. Hopefully there will be a lone wolf, but this next fight is going to be an absolute banger, in my opinion. I think this is going to be a gritty fight for both of these women. You have recent title challenger Manon Fiorot taking on Jasmine Jasudavicius, and I mean this is going to be a clinical performance from both of these women. You have an amazing grappler in Jasudavicius, and then you have an amazing striker in Manon Fiorot. Should I start it? Should I take it away? I'll take it away. I think that Jasudavicius has made like great strides in her MMA journey. Also, she has earned this level of competition, and she has earned this fight. And I think that if it gets to the ground, it is over. I really think that she has all the making and the tools to submit Manon with ease, to be completely honest. The thing is, I just don't think that Jasmine is going to be able to touch Manon. Manon is one of the longest, lankiest strikers in women's MMA. Her lead leg sidekick is amazing. It almost reminds me of him who shall not be named. But
Justin Taffa?
Yeah, how'd you know?
He can't strike. He
has the killer lead leg sidekick.
No, he does. He does.
She's so good at maintaining kicking range.
Wait. Who is he who shall not be named? I'm actually curious.
John Jones.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
When you say he who shall not be named on this podcast, I think you're thinking of a JT brother.
It could refer to like a multitude of different
lot of people.
We don't name a lot of
but I think that Manon is very good at dictating the pace of fights, keeping her distance from her opponent, and just picking perfect shots. She is a great striker, and every time that Jasudavicius is going to want to crash into the pocket, I feel like Manon is going to make her pay. Obviously, there is room for a surprise takedown from Jasmine, and I wouldn't be completely shocked if that happens. I just think that it's more unlikely that she does. It's more unlikely that she does than doesn't land that takedown. So I think the movement from Manon Fiorot is really going to carry her in this, and she's going to coast her way to a clear decision victory.
Yeah, I guess I can go next.
Yep.
This is a good fight. This is a great fight. I'll put it that way. But there is a even better fighter on this. I think there is one fighter that is a lot better than the other, and that's Manon Fiorot. I think people are underestimating her because she just lost the title. But she just lost the title to arguably the number one pound for pound women's fighter, which in a few weeks could be proven that she is the number one pound for pound women's fighter. I know she's number one in the rankings, but I still think Zhang Weili's a little better. Wink, wink at my pick for that. But anyways, Manon Fiorot's a beast at this flyweight division. Jasudavicius is great. I just think Manon Fiorot's a different animal. And I think she gets it done. She knows she needs a bounce back win. And I think this is the perfect time to do it on such a big stage. It works out well. This is a fight I've had predicted since these two fought at UFC 315. I'm glad they make this happen. I think Fiorot gets it done, though.
All right. Let's talk about this one. As we mentioned, Fiorot's coming into this fight trying to bounce back after falling short in her title bid at UFC 315. She's still got all the tools to hang with the elite at flyweight, but there are definitely some tweaks she needs to make stylistically. I'll get into that in a second. Now, on the other side, Jasmine Jasudavicius is one of those fighters who doesn't really fit the usual mold. I think she's like a blend of DDP and Merab, like awkward and absolutely relentless. On paper, sure, Jasudavicius being the underdog makes sense. She's 36, and she's up against a recent title challenger. But when you look deeper, this is actually a really interesting matchup for her. Fiorot's game is very clean, but kind of segmented. She's great at long-range kicking and close-range clinching. But there's this big gap in between. That mid-range striking and defensive movement in the pocket just isn't her strength. She also doesn't scramble super well once she's taken down. And that's where Jasudavicius shines. She thrives in chaos. She will walk Fiorot down and just keep the pressure on. Fiorot has very crisp technique. And that technique could win her moments early in this fight. But over 3 rounds, Jasudavicius's pace and constant forward movement could easily take over. I like the underdog here. I like Jasudavicius. Give me Jasudavicius by unanimous decision. Give me a second howl, because we missed the last one that I lone wolfed on too. Let's get a second howl in there too. 2 lone wolves for the boy. Give me Jasmine.
The Crody.
The Crody.
The Crody, we in Canada. Yeah, I mean, I would not be shocked if Jasudavicius won this fight. I think that is a very solid lone wolf take from Yousri.
Yes.
It'll be a good one though. I'm very excited for that. That is going to be high level women's MMA. So
100%.
We move to another Canadian fighter, in Ayman Zahabi, who questionably won by decision in his last fight out against Jose Aldo, also in Canada. And he is taking on a very proven bantamweight in Marlon Chito Vera. Sam, I'm going to pitch it to you right now. Who you got?
You always picking me to go first, huh?
No, I'm trying to go through
through
the order. Like I'm going to go you. I've been going you, Shrikar, and then me. And then sometimes when I don't want to go, I'm just throwing it back to you. So you got to be on your toes.
No, I'll go. I'm fine going first. For this one. This one is tough. And I'm not. I don't necessarily want to get into these two fighters. I'm just going to go for my reasoning for why I have it. I'm going to go with Chito Vera by decision. I believe he's a slight underdog right now at plus 105. He is relentless. He is a tough guy to beat. I don't know if Zahabi has that yet. I'm going to be completely honest with you. Zahabi's is a beast. Don't get me wrong. He's beat a lot of guys. I mean, he's on a 6-fight winning streak, 13-2. That says a lot. He makes his featherweight debut. Well, he went to featherweight to fight Jose Aldo, excuse me. Now moving back down to bantamweight. And Aldo won that fight. I'm going to be honest. Aldo won that fight. That's the one guy that's on his resume that's proven. And now you're going up against one of the most relentless fighters at the bantamweight division. A guy that, let's be real, got an undeserved title shot against Sean O'Malley and impressed. He lost that fight big time. But the fact that he was able to stay in there for 5 rounds and take all that damage and still challenge O'Malley here and there. What was the decision on that one? It was
literally a 50-43.
Yeah, it was he
lost every round and he got whooped.
Yeah, he got absolutely whooped. But the fact he was able to stay in there and look somewhat competent against a guy who's, let's be honest, much better. Sure, I know you're smiling. My point is, O'Malley dominated that fight. What? Oh, okay. I thought you were just smiling, like laughing at my take. O'Malley dominated that fight. Let's just be real. The fact that Vera stayed in there for 5 rounds, I think, says a lot. Davis and Figueiredo, his next fight, wasn't that great. Let's be honest. UD, that was the Abu Dhabi card in 2024. Sanhagen or Magomedov.
Yeah.
And that was also, it was 29-28 for the majority of it. But still, Vera's so hard to beat. I just don't know if Zahabi has that great yet. Vera needs this win too. And I think when a guy that gritty needs a win badly, I think Chito Vera can come out and beat Zahabi. It's going to be a close one. I'm going Vera by decision, though.
Okay. Chris, am I next in the order or is it you?
I can go.
Who's next in the order, though?
Oh, well, no, I was just picking the order to go first. It's kind of whoever speaks up.
So,
I mean, I'll go because
Yeah,
I guess I'm talking right
well,
now.
I mean, I went last on the last one, so if you really want me to go here, then.
No, I'll go. I think it's going to be Marlon Vera by unanimous decision as well. I think that Zahabi's a solid fighter. He has very clean boxing, solid groundwork as well. I just think that Chito Vera, he's a little bit too, I think he's going to be too powerful for Zahabi, and the versatility in his strikes are really going to show here, and he's going to be able to hit Zahabi at different angles. I don't think Zahabi is going to have the speed advantage in this fight or even the physicality advantage, and Chito Vera is durable as all hell. So I think that that's more than enough to have on your side. And they're going to fight at Chito Vera's pace. This is going to be a Chito Vera fight. He's going to lead the dance. His kicks are going to be intelligently thrown, in my opinion. He's going to be able to hit. He's going to be able to slice up the calf. And look, he hits those with precision. We saw what he did to Sean O'Malley. He completely shut off his knee. And obviously, that is kind of a lucky strike, but you're throwing it there for a reason because that can happen. And if you hit that on the button, it's over. So I think that Zahabi, someone that really relies on having a strong lead leg to gain his power and momentum. And I think Chito Vera is going to be able to disrupt that, disrupt Zahabi's rhythm, and coast his way to unanimous decision victory.
I was grinning during your pick because I was looking at Ayman Zahabi's age. Zahabi might be the oldest prospect in MMA. The guy's turning 38 soon. But I mean,
wow. I thought you were about to say like 34.
No, he's
bro thinks he's Alex Pereira.
Hey, but you wouldn't know it from how he's been fighting. He's on a serious run right now, and he could push it to 7 straight wins with a dub this weekend. With Chito Vera, look, I love Chito, but it feels like he's been slowing down a bit over the past couple of years. There was a time when he was one of the best counter strikers in the entire sport. I don't think he's at that level anymore. If Chito shows up like the guy who fought Rob Font or Dominic Cruz, he is absolutely live in this fight. That version of Vera could make it competitive, maybe even pull off the upset. But if we get the more recent version we've seen, yeah, he's in trouble. This current Chito just gets hit too much and banks too hard on finding that perfect counter. Against a more composed first and third striker like Zahabi, I think that is a recipe for disaster. I think Zahabi's timing and setups will draw those lazy reactions out of Chito, and at some point, he is landing clean. He will. I would not be shocked. We obviously commend Chito Vera for the chin. I would not be shocked if Zahabi drops Chito at least once in this fight. And I think he will cruise to a comfortable decision win. 3 straight. Give me 3 of them. Three of them. I need 3 in a row. I'm in Zahabi by unanimous decision is the pick, man. The
Is he gonna be
3-piece.
howling on this.
The 3-piece. With Tom Brady, the 3-piece. Let's go, man. Give me Ivan.
I guess there's 3 wolf sounds in that. I should have just played the video in its entirety. It's from when I paused it. Damn, 3 lone wolves for Streetcar.
3 straight lone wolves. Let's go.
Well, I think I know you're the host, Chris, but I'll jump in here because I think Streetcar has to start on this fight then with his
Yeah.
Oh yeah, 100%. I am gonna throw out there that there is a good amount of sharp money on Chito Vera. 50% of the bets split down the middle. 70% of the handle is on Marlon Vera.
There's the sharp money, and then there's the shriek money. And I followed the shriek money.
That's a quote for the ages.
That is
that's going in the quote book. That is the first Streetcar Jourdain entry in my quote book somehow. After living with this guy for 3 years, we don't live with each other anymore. But that is somehow the first quote from Streetcar Jourdain in my quote book.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Entry number 46.
That is yeah. Do you hand out like shriek books or anything? Can I get some?
Oh,
sure.
Sure. Yeah, if you tell me, I'll give you some shriek bucks.
Oh, bet.
It'll show in the not the DraftKings. No free promo. It'll show in your betting account system.
Bet. All right, perfect. That's awesome. Okay, so we move on to the next fight, and we're gonna let Streetcar go again to see what he thinks. We got Kevin, Big Mouth, Trailblazer, Texan, whatever nickname you want to call him. This man is a jack of all trades at this point. Kevin Holland taking on proper Mike Malott, another Canadian fighter on this main card. Streetcar, take it away.
I'm taking Kevin Holland. I'm going to do it. I'm tired of hearing this talk about Kevin Holland being washed. Yeah, the D-Rod fight was weird, but he's still got all the tools. Speed, length, very slick jiu-jitsu. Like, Malott is a good prospect, but he fades late in fights, and Holland is going to take advantage of that. He's got an 8-inch reach advantage. 8-inch reach advantage. And I think he can either knock Malott down or snatch a choke when it hits the ground. I'm going to say he does it by club and sub. I'm going to go Kevin Holland. I think this is going to be a classic Kevin Holland.
Wow.
I think it's going to be a classic Kevin Holland performance. Yeah, and I'm going to take him at dog money too.
Here's a weird trend. Kevin Holland is he's technically he has minus odds on DraftKings, but still a dog. I just want to put that out there.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Here's a weird trend I'm just noticing with Kevin Holland. Look at the guys he's lost to in the UFC. Derek Brunson, Marvin Vettori, Hamzat Chimaev, Stephen Thompson, JDM, Michael Page, Roman Dolidze, RDR, Daniel Rodriguez. All those guys have gone on to be great. Now look at the guys he's beat. Vincent Luque, Gunnar Nelson, Olasishuk, Michael Chiesa. There's some other names in there. But besides like Olasishuk maybe, at the time of Holland beating them, they have not gone on to be great since then, besides Olasishuk.
You're missing Fluffy and Joaquin Buckley.
He beat Joaquin Buckley at welterweight though, and Fluffy at welterweight. He did beat them at welterweight though, so I will give them a little advantage. But that is a good call, Chris. That is a great call. Still, my point stands with the trend that a lot of these guys he has beat have gone on to be fantastic fighters. Will Mike Malott join that trend is the big question. I'm leaning no right now. And I hope that's not disrespecting against Mike Malott. He's a great fighter. I'm going Kevin Holland for this one. Kevin Holland's hot, man. I'm telling you right now. Even though he lost his last fight to D-Rod pretty badly, he looked great against Luque and Gunnar Nelson. He's still very active in the UFC. His other loss this year was RDR. This is Kevin Holland's 5th fight this year. Can we just talk about that for a moment?
And he wants
That's
6.
Insane. And he wants 6. Honestly, dude, give it to him. What I would love to see the UFC do, because I think the UFC is missing a feature bout for UFC 323 at the moment. Kevin Holland wins. Put Kevin Holland and Colby Covington together. Feature bout for UFC 323.
Colby.
Please. Please make that
I
happen.
would love that. Colby would never agree to that.
Colby would absolutely agree to that. Who is Colby going to fight besides Kevin Holland?
Gilbert Burns.
Yeah, he ain't fighting Gilbert Burns. Colby's a soft.
He would much rather fight Gilbert Burns.
Because we all know how that went.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean,
Kevin
I
Holland
think
is just
that
like a pro's pro, man. Like this guy just this guy is just
Sorry, I
for
just
the
got a
love
call.
of the game. I'll do
Yeah, he's in it
whatever.
for the love of the
I don't
game.
care.
I mean,
he makes so much money off of it, dude.
he's
I love
hilarious.
it. I freaking love it.
Yeah,
And it seems,
I mean,
you know what? It seems like his life. It seems like his life is fantastic. He seems like he loves life. That's what. If you're happy doing this,
I would.
We
Like,
love a good life lover.
a life lover.
Kevin Holland, you're a dog, bro.
Does he have
You're
a
actually
family?
such a dog.
That's a
I
weird
mean,
question, but does he have a family? Wife?
Yeah.
Even better. All right, I hope he does. That would be.
I
That would
mean,
be even better.
also-
He deserves to have a happy family after the UFC.
You deserve to do whatever you want in life, Kevin Holland. Go out and be yourself, man. Go do your thing, man. Nah, I agree. I hope he has a great family.
Kevin
Okay,
Holland was
well,
married in 2018 and has 2 children.
Let's say Kevin Holland wins this fight, even loses. It doesn't matter. And he fights again one more time this year. He will break his own record for most fights in a calendar year with 6.
He wants to come back in December, apparently. So
yeah, if he
Do
does
it.
it, he will break his own record.
Sure.
He did 5 in 2020.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He literally carried COVID UFC. It was insane.
You want to know how many fights he had booked in 2020?
Probably like 10.
9.
Yeah.
10. No, it was 10. You're right. You were nailed. You nailed it.
That's
Ball
crazy.
knower.
That's crazy.
Hashtag ball knower.
Ball knowledge to the max.
Yeah. He's a dog, and I can't wait to see it.
And he won all of those fights besides he won all of those fights in 2020, which is nuts too.
Yeah. It was it's pretty impressive.
He literally he won all the fights in 2020, then lost all of 2021. That's so sad.
I do.
Actually?
I could honestly, there could, and I might live stream on Friday if I'm going to do this. it is, again, it's very hard to pick Kevin Holland. So if I look deeper into this and I feel like Malott is going to be the pick, I will switch. But that's for Friday if we get there. If we get there. Obviously, still some tape to do. But I don't think Kevin Holland is washed, bro. Like, I feel like people have overblown the D-Rod fight. That D-Rod fight was not bad. He could have had the
D-Rod
finish.
is good. D-Rod's up and coming. D-Rod's hot, too. I'm telling you right now.
Yeah.
Like, if he didn't spam the flying knee, like, he probably could have beat D-Rod. And it was a very close fight for his, for as violent and much of a war as it was. So
I agree. I agree.
Who knows?
Kevin Holland gets everyone's vote in the war room. And now,
hey, by the way, let's clear this up before we get into the main event. Brendan Allen is claiming Canada for this one fight. He is claiming to be Canadian. He is repping Canada.
He is. Wow, that's crazy.
I think he should be claiming idiocy.
What's this?
He's an idiot.
Yeah.
And you know what?
He just claimed Louisiana all during UFC 318 fight week. He gets this Canada placement. Yeah, I'm Canadian.
Yeah.
He's gonna go to like the UAE next and be like, "Oh, look at me, I'm Arab" or something like that.
God.
And you know what I say to Brendan Allen claiming Canada? Nobody cares.
Yeah. You know what I say to Brendan? I'll get into picks. You know what I say to Brendan Allen claiming Canada? Rainier de Reer is going to choke him out and submit him and send him into the netherworld. I don't even care. I was thinking of Netherlands. I was going to say stratosphere, but like you can't really do that with choking. Standing ovation from Shrikar.
I applaud you. That's a great pick. I think that might be your best fight breakdown to date.
These odds are absolutely atrocious to me. Minus 198 for RDR, arguably the best fighter in the middleweight division besides Khamzat Chimaev, is insane to me. I think it's so unfortunate that Fluffy Hernandez couldn't fight because now I think you have a absolutely gimme fight on RDR. And those minus 198 odds, I think you absolutely put the house down on those. That's the best bet. That's my lock of the night. Give me RDR by submission over Brendan Allen. Not to discredit Brendan Allen, but RDR is such a better fighter. He, in my opinion, is going to be a future contender. After this win, I think he will. After this one, I think he will prove himself as a contender. I was debating on it for a split second just because Brendan Allen's not a contender yet. And Fluffy Hernandez would have been a title eliminator, but RDR will cement himself as a title contender. I think he fights the winner of Khamzat and Nasruddin Imavov, and I think he gets that title shot after that fight. He's kind of in the Piotr Jan situation right now, where you have your win. Now you're going to be the title fight in waiting.
Yes,
this is going to be a dog. I don't want to say it's the hydrogen bomb versus coughing baby. But
no. Can't say that. We can't.
I said I didn't say that. I said I don't want to say it is.
Good. All right, we can't.
But this is going to be. This is. I see this as a ragdolling from RDR.
Down with all in. Down with Brendan all in Allen. I will say this is gonna be a fun fight. I still think we're going to get a banger here. It'll be a banger for me because RDR is going to absolutely smoke Allen. But I will say Brendan Allen's a strong grappler. Definitely slick in scrambles. But De Ridder is on another level when it comes to pure jiu-jitsu and top control. I think his striking, being as awkward as it is, actually works here too. He throws those weird knees and those little blitzes that I think it could really catch Allen off guard. And once it hits the mat, De Ridder's pressure, his size advantage are going to be problems. I can see him wearing Allen down and just locking up a choke somewhere in rounds 2 or 3. So I will also go Rainier De Ridder by submission.
I'll also give one matchmaking thing for whatever reason before you go, Chris. If RDR wins this fight and they don't want to give him a title shot, first quarter of 2026, you have to make RDR versus Dricus happen in Amsterdam.
I agree.
RDR is Dutch. South Africa is a country very closely associated with the Netherlands. So there's a lot of South African heritage. Make that happen.
That is a fight night main event.
That is a fight night main event. Amsterdam's a perfect place that is overdue for a UFC fight. There's another Dutch fighter on this card too. You can put him on there too. It's long overdue. Make it happen. I think that would be such an amazing fight. If they don't want to give, if they want to give RDR one more before a title shot.
Another little matchmaking quip I'll give, because obviously Fluffy did pull out of this fight on short notice. So you guys may be wondering, who should Fluffy fight now? I think you do Fluffy versus Izzy.
Yep.
Fluffy versus Izzy 100%. Has to happen. I think that is the one that's going to sell the most. I think it's going to be a banger of a fight. I'm very excited to see what Izzy does against the relentless pressure of a guy like Fluffy. Got to make that happen. But yeah,
Chris, it would be insane. Make that a main event not a pay-per-view. And I don't think they would do this because the market size is too small. But a main event why I keep saying pay-per-view? A fight night main event in Sacramento. I think the market's a little too small for that, for Izzy Adesanya. But that
I was going to say it could go on a pay-per-view undercard. I think it should be a 3-round fight.
Yeah, I don't hate that either. Feature bout.
If it is a 5-round fight, I'm going to pick Fluffy. But in a 3-round fight, I think it becomes way more interesting.
Yeah, maybe they do that as a 3-rounder. I don't know.
We'll see, though. Hey, maybe if Sacramento gets a fight night, then sure.
Yeah. Well, I don't think they would put Izzy Adesanya in Sacramento. I feel like that's way too small of a market for him.
Mm-hmm.
They're putting him in the Abu Dhabi, Saudi Arabias. They want him in like the money-making markets.
I think it's also where Izzy wants to fight too. Like
that too. Yeah.
He's not gonna want to.
He's not gonna want to fight in Fluffy Hernandez's backyard.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be fun though. This is just the NorCal guy speaking. I'm just putting that out there.
100%. Chris, you're getting drowned out here, man. Take it away. I'm very sorry.
I was debating whether I should be a lone wolf here because I really want a lone wolf.
Do it.
And I mean, Brendan Allen's name is all in.
Yeah.
So I think that tells me
my heart's racing.
That I should be all out. Taking my chips out of the middle. It was a fake shove. And then I pull them back. They didn't cross the ring on the poker table. Yeah. The Ritter's going to smoke this fool. I'm not that high on Brendan Allen. Thank you. Yeah. I mean, I think Brendan Allen's a solid fighter. Don't get me wrong. And he has great tools all around. And clearly, he just showed his stand-up prowess against Marvin Vettori. And honestly, I think he would have knocked out almost any other middleweight other than Marvin Vettori because Marvin Vettori literally just has a cinder block for a head. But I think that De Ridder, from what we've been seeing from him, is kind of just otherworldly stuff. I know that the fight against Bobby Knuckles was tough. And Bobby Knuckles is one of the best middleweights to ever do it in history. And the fact that he's putting out performances like this towards the end of his career is something that should be talked about. However, I think De Ridder in another world like that fight and what he threw at Whitaker would have taken out a lot of other fighters. And I know it's hard to kind of play like the what if game or the what am I trying to get at? Like the mix and match game. Like, oh, if he did this to him, he could do this to this fighter. But at the same time, I think De Ridder is the more skilled all-around fighter. And I think he really beats Brendan Allen in every area of fighting. I think that he has the pace, he has the cardio. We just saw it. He has better grappling than Brendan Allen. He has better striking. I really don't see where Brendan Allen is going to have an advantage in this fight other than maybe just pure grit, heart, and determination.
Which RDR also has in spades.
Exactly, which RDR also has. I mean, you don't get to be a one double champ for no reason. You're not, even in any promotion, if you become a double champ, that is still a pretty high accomplishment to put on your mantle. So I think that RDR, I'm going to say he wins by decision. I think this is going to go
okay.
5 rounds. Okay.
Yeah. I'm going to say that Brendan Allen is going to figure out a way to last. He's going to be all in on this fight and really try and draw this out as long as possible. But would not be shocked in the slightest if RDR was able to cinch up a nice little sub. But yeah, I thought that was a good breakdown, boys. We got some Lone Wolf Street Car with 3 back-to-back-to-back. Like
now that we've gone through it all the way through, I still stand by the take. I think this is the best card that Canada's ever gotten. Like, this is amazing. Like, this is a really good card. What time does this start? Does it start in like the afternoon?
It starts at 4 o'clock in Eastern time.
Yeah.
Oh, so afternoon for ya boy on the West.
Yeah. It's an afternoon card for the Vancouver too. 1 p.m. prelims, 4 p.m. main card. That's nice for them.
And Shrikar, I'm gonna hop on the bandwagon and say that this is probably the best card that Canada's ever gonna see.
It is, bro.
I'm not gonna hop on it, but I'm a little more convinced.
Yeah, because now that we went through a fight, like I only think there's like 2 fights on here that are like disappointing.
Sam, if you don't hop on the bandwagon, would you get down on it? Get down on it.
Yeah, I'll not hop on the bandwagon. That's a lone wolf.
Sorry, I love that song.
All right, we're keeping the soundboard. The soundboard is
that was kind of fire. That was a good little.
Comment down below what sounds do you want us to add to the soundboard?
That was a nice little bink right there, Sam. Nice little binky.
Hey, yo, guys, make sure you smash that like button, subscribe, turn on post notifications. Go follow the socials. We're all pointing at it. I might be pointing in the wrong direction.
You're pointing the right way.
Yeah, you're pointing the right way.
But yeah, this is going to be a fun card. We're going to come with a recap. Hopefully that'll be up Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully Sunday. Sunday. Yeah, this is going to be a great card. We hope you guys enjoy.
Yes, sir.